How many of us keep going, pushing through every task, convincing ourselves, well, we'll rest when we finally go to bed? What if I told you that rest and sleep aren't the same and that waiting until bedtime might be doing more harm than good? Welcome back to the Inspired Well Minded Woman podcast. I'm Dr. Denise, your wellness mindset and resilience coach. And today I'm talking about the importance of rest, real, purposeful rest, and why it's just as important as sleep. I'll share my personal journey of always feeling like I had to get everything done before I let myself take a break. Well, we'll explore how constantly staying busy also affects your mind and your body, and why giving yourself the permission to rest throughout the day can transform your overall well being. So, sister leader, have you ever felt drained by the constant need to stay busy? Rest is more than just laying down, it's a powerful way to recharge your mind and your body so you can show up at your best. You see, research from Cornell University showed that taking purposeful breaks, even as short as 5 minutes, yes, 5 minutes, can significantly boost your energy, productivity, and your focus. And being a sister leader and a well-minded woman, focus is really important to us for whatever we have going on in our lives and that we are dealing with. So, for those moments of purposeful rest, allow you and me to reset, to regain clarity, and handle the day's demands with greater ease and effectiveness. So, sister leader, how often have you told yourself, I'll rest when everything is done? And you keep pushing through. I'll get done when my house is finally spotless. You keep pushing through. When I answer all the emails and return all the text messages, you keep pushing through. And when every item is checked off of your to do list that seems to keep getting longer throughout the day, you just keep pushing through. It's really, really easy to fall into the mindset of always trying to push yourself and push through the things that you are doing. Especially if you consider yourself, or people typically consider yourself to be a strong woman, always showing up and making things happen and getting things done. Allow Always busy and always pushing through no matter what. But the stress keeps growing and weighing you down, thinking that rest is something you have to earn. Imagine that. For you to rest, you think it's something you have to earn. But here's the thing, even when you're worn out, you might even catch yourself scrolling on your phone, and the doom scrolling that we do on social media all the time when we call ourselves taking a break. The truth is, that dooms strolling when you're on social media, when you call yourself taking a break from whatever work or activities you have to do, you're just going to take a quick breather and you're scrolling through, your brain is still working, trying to process the pictures and the videos. And yes, if you're like me, the comments, right? We all know that the comment section on um, of all the social media posts and videos that we see, the comments is where it is really happening. And so you can get caught up in the scrolling from picture to video to comments, and reading it as if it's some type of article or that's going to change your day, right? But it's a distraction from what the task we have at hand and what needs to get done, but it's not really giving ourselves the rest that we need. And so what you think is a breather is actually draining more of your energy when you're scrolling through the social medias. Okay. And regardless of which platform you scroll through, or maybe you on that shopping site as a form of taking a breather. No, you still have to process all that information. That is not giving yourself, that's not giving your mind, which is still part of the self, rest. And I have to say it that way because oftentimes it seems as if we separate our minds from our body. Oftentimes it comes across as if our brains are a separate part of our being when it's all connected. And it's not just our bodies that need rest throughout the day, it is oftentimes our minds as well. So if you're running a business and or doing whatever it is, managing teams, then yes, you know that the energy drain that you can experience from all the mental work that you have to do. And so we your brains and our minds absolutely need rest from the constant pull and energy drain, right? So social scrolling through social media is not a form of rest. It's just another form of it's just another stimulus that's distracting you. So does that sound familiar? Right? When you said you're going to take a break and rest, that you end up on social media. And if you're waiting until you're completely burnt out to rest, that's only going to leave you stuck in this cycle when you're never truly present and never fully recharged. And so you it's a constant cycle of more energy drain because of the way you set yourself up and the way you may be thinking about the importance of rest in your life. But in full transparency, here's the reality. I used to do the same thing. I used to stay up late trying to finish just one more task or whatever project that I'm working on, believing that once everything was done that I will feel better. I literally still have to work myself through that thinking today. I know how to coach myself through that thinking, but once because my I have a high sense of self-awareness, I have to catch myself because I can still get caught up in the results, wanting the results for myself, that I will say once it's done I'll feel better. Yes, there is truth to that, but to what expense? And what I didn't know is I was exhausted, irritable, and mentally spent a lot of the times because I would push myself so hard. I'd convince myself that taking a break before finishing was being lazy. Or I would convince myself that, come on, you're almost done. You're almost done. Even though I was in oftentimes when I was in excruciating pain, especially if it had things to do with house chores, if it was the weekend or on an off day where I felt like I needed to get things done so I can have a rest day, I would push myself to get things done, but it was to my own demise. And the harder I pushed, the less I accomplished. You talking about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I realized that after so long, so many days, so many months and years of telling myself the result was more important than the rest. No, I was doing more harm than good to myself. I was burning myself out. And eventually I realized that I was treating myself like treating my rest as if it was some type of reward. And sometimes, instead of recognizing that it was something in my mind, that is something that my mind and my body needed. But there were times where, I just have to share that I pushed myself so far when the pain was so excruciating, I still wouldn't even stop. I would literally talk myself through. You could do it just a few more minutes. You're almost done. You're almost done, right? And to be honest, that is part of the Marine Corps mindset that I would say that is there because, it was that's the kind of like what we experience when we're in the military, where you complete a task, you complete a mission, right? It's really important. And I still carried that for so long, right? And I've been out of the Marine Corps for decades now, but it's still an attitude that I carry, and I have to work myself through it. So I needed to mentally shift my mind and my mind so my body can get the rest that it needed to recharge. So that shift in perspective changed everything for me. When I started to allow myself to rest, I felt more balanced, more focused, and yes, oh my goodness, more at peace and calm in my body, because that stress that I was putting on myself from forcing myself to get things done before I would take a seat. Yeah, no, there's no need for me to try to be anybody's superwoman, including that to myself. And that experience and those experiences taught me the value of rest, because when a person like me who lives in a high level of chronic pain, and your body's telling you it needs to rest for a few minutes to recalibrate so you can continue, and mentally I'm telling myself that I can do it, I can keep going. There were times I wanted to check out of my body. The pain was so bad because I would constantly push myself to get the result or to finish the task at hand so I can rest for the duration instead of taking moments of rest that would allow me to continue and with my body in a sense of harmony and flow. Okay? And so what if taking a moment to rest now for you could actually build the mental resilience that you need to accomplish more? Because that's what I had to learn. Pushing myself constantly in those moments. And if you deal with chronic pain of any type, or you push yourself to the point of burnout, you know that those times when you end up taking the moments of rest, you feel better if you don't start beating yourself up for having taken the rest and it feels like you're behind. So that can be tricky, and it becomes a thing where you need a delicate balance. Okay, sister leader. So let's talk about what rest really looks like for you. Have you ever felt like you have to wait until you're completely exhausted before you deserve a break? No wonder that you may experience burnout and overwhelm more frequently than some of your counterparts, if that's your mentality. But here's the truth: taking small purposeful rests before you hit the wall can make a huge difference. And one simple thing you can do, if you need to just take those little micro breaks throughout the day, right, is set a timer. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And at 5 and 10 minutes, if you're trying to grow a business, if you're managing teams, or you're trying to take your small business to the next level, whatever it is that you're doing in life, if you feel that those 5 and 10 minutes may be too long, start with a shorter time frame. Take a moment to breathe. Okay? It's simple. But set your timer. If you have a smartwatch, you have a phone, set a timer for like 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, if 5 and 10 minutes is too long. Okay. I'm sure you can find that you are definitely worth 3 minutes to take a moment to recalibrate yourself throughout the day. And you also want to take You want to step away to take mental breaks and take deep breaths throughout the day. It's not just about the break, isn't just about stopping what you're doing, but it's about giving yourself what you need, looking away from your screens. Maybe there's a picture on your desk. Maybe there's outside the window in your office, it's a beautiful view. And even if it's not, create one. Go within your mind to a beautiful place and give yourself a mental vacation in those 3 minutes, taking deep breaths to calm your body and bring yourself back to harmony, and then get back to the business at hand. Okay? These mental breaks can help you find solutions to challenges that you felt that were even impossible before taking the break. There are often there are so many times I have told my clients when they when I'm speaking to them and they're talking about their stress and trying to figure out a project and they really just can't get past it. They're feeling overwhelmed because they have deadlines to meet for their clients and their business, right? And so when I speak to them and they're telling me that they have to get this done, now they're already in stress when they call me, okay? And I have to remind them it's okay to take 5 minutes, walk away and breathe. Don't walk away thinking about the problem that you left at your desk. Walk away and just say, okay, have that breath and just be fully present. Give yourself that time to find some sense of calm and harmony. Because when you're stressed and you're really trying to figure something out that you don't have the answer to, that's more tension on your body. And so, what I do really enjoy is those that actually take the break, all right, from the computer, from their phone, and just go outside and take in some fresh air. Look out of a window for a moment, right? Look at nature or something that brings them a sense of calm. It brings me so much joy that when they get back to their work and I speak to them later on, they tell me, Doc, it worked. When I got back, I got the answer. I had because they had more clarity, right? And so even if the answer doesn't come right away, it comes quicker than it probably would have when they're trying to force themselves to push through to find an answer, to make it happen, increasing their stress levels. So definitely take those breaks throughout the day to give yourself a mental rest and a physical time to recalibrate. Now that will be different for everyone. Okay. You might even be thinking that rest is just a matter of laying down. You can't lay down at work or you can't take a nap at work. Well, I'm not talking about rest is rest can be a form of sleep per se. I want to tread lightly here because I'm not a sleep doctor or a medical doctor in any way, but sleep is one state. I mean, rest is one phase, sleep is another, right? Sleep is a deeper state of rest where your body can really do what it needs to do. But I'm talking about being intentional about just being present in your life without having to be busy. So, and yes, even naps can be important depending on your situation if you're able to do it. Depends on what your lifestyle is set up, how that's set up. So actually, rest can be as easy as closing your eyes for a moment. Again, taking in some slow, deep breaths and figuring out for yourself that what it is that you really want before you re-engage with whatever you have going on. When you do this, you'll find yourself feeling more relaxed and definitely more clear-headed. It's something that I practice in my own life continually. And I also give myself permission to not do things so I won't find myself trying to push through because that never turns out in my best interest. And I'm sure it won't be in yours if you genuinely and you truly need to take that mental or physical break. Okay? You may be wondering that if you are sleeping at night, is it really important to rest during the day? And my response to that question is absolutely. Resting during the day helps you stay mentally sharp. That's the whole premise around stepping away from your screens without going on these social platforms and scrolling your time away, which is continuing to stimulate you, and just look at nature or just settle your mind. It'll help you stay sharp and focus. And you don't need to carve out hours or have to um, step away for an extended period of time to take a mental pause. No, you don't have to do this. These are short breaks that give you the clarity and even in the space to find real solutions to problems that seemed out of reach for you. And if you're still thinking you're too busy to rest, remember even 1 minute, an easy 60 seconds of stillness can make a difference. So don't think yourself out of an opportunity to rest because you feel you're too busy. We're all busy and we all have 24 hours a day. Busy is the thing that we keep telling ourselves that cause us to keep neglecting ourselves. So give yourself that 60 seconds. If that's all that you have, take it. It still makes a difference. And the next time you feel overwhelmed, sit down for that 60 seconds and close your eyes and focus in on your breathing. Because sometimes we can get caught up in being busy with a task and growing our businesses and doing whatever it is we have going on in our lives. And we don't even realize that we're not fully breathing, which adds more stress and tension to our bodies. Okay. Our brains also need oxygen to function. I know that you know this, but this is a reminder because you have to take care of it. If you want your brain and your body to take care of you, you have to take care of it. Okay. So it's quick, it's simple, and very effective when you take these moments, these micro breaks to rest your mind and recalibrate and rest your body to recalibrate itself so you can keep going forward. Now, if you feel like all your work is done, life is good, but you still think you have to find something to busy yourself with, remind yourself of this, that rest is also an action. Okay? It's not something you're it's not something you're physically have to be doing, but resting, setting your body still is allowing the involuntary parts of your body to do the work it needs to do for you, your mind, and your body. So, rest is an action word. Stop looking at rest as something that, like, you're not doing anything. No, you're not physically, consciously doing an activity of other than being still and giving yourself that time so your the parts of your body that you really don't control, right, can do what it needs to do. And by choosing rest, you're allowing yourself to just be, recharging your confidence and becoming more mentally prepared and resilient to handle whatever comes next. Don't you deserve that though? to give your body and your mind the time throughout the day when you need it or want it to recharge. So just be mindful of that. Resting is an action, and it's recharging your confidence and becoming more mentally prepared and resilient for whatever life may present you with next. Okay? You don't always have to be going, and going. All right? Rest is important. So, Sister Leader, purposeful rest isn't just something nice to have, it's not a luxury. It's the foundation that allows you to be your best self physically, mentally, and emotionally. And when you prioritize purposeful rest, you're giving your brain and your body the space it needs to function well, to think clearly, and to show up strong. To be brain and body fit, to be a brain and body fit, well minded woman and leader. So when you give yourself permission to rest and others see you taking those moments of rest, it's caring for yourself, but it's also giving people who look to you as the leader you are to take a rest for themselves. Because we can watch our neighbor, we can watch our professional counterparts and say, oh, they keep going, they're doing, and feel that we need to keep going and doing. But no, rest is important. All right. So you're not taking, it's not taking a step back, but you are truly positioning yourself. I want you to think about that you are positioning yourself to move forward with more focus, with more mental focus. And we definitely need that in this day and time to accomplish the things that we have set for ourselves, deemed as important missions and as business to show up for in life. Okay. We need the mental focus so we can forge forward. We need the energy so we can forge forward. And we definitely need the resilience to keep the momentum of forging forward. So, my question for you now is, will you allow yourself to incorporate more purposeful rest into your day? Now that you realize that rest is actually an action as well, resting is an action. All right. And let me know in the comments by typing rest on purpose. Type rest on purpose in the comments. Um, if you're now going to incorporate it as a part of your day when you need it, or if you find that you're hitting the wall sooner than later, that means you need to incorporate rests as part of your daily regimen. Take those moments to decompress and then go forward. And remember that making purposeful rest a priority. You're not just caring for yourself, you're setting the stage for greater success in every area of your life as well. So, Sister Leader, that is all for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I am continuously honored to walk this journey with you. And as we continue to prioritize our wellness, our brain and body fitness, let's continue to soar higher together. Until next time, get some rest on purpose and be good to yourself.